Blessed to be with you. Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. Phone number is 580-5436, 580-KIDO. And, of course, we're talking a little bit about the Democratic presidential debate, the president in Japan getting ready to meet Putin. You've got election security. You've got the city of Boise saying, be kind, paying, what was it, $80,000, $4,000 on one day just to make sure people are kind. Truly something that you wouldn't see anywhere else.
It should not be an option in the United States of America for any insurance company to deny women coverage for their exercise of their right of choice. And I am the only candidate here who has passed a law protecting a woman's right of reproductive health and health insurance.
Why doesn't he just say a right to terminate a pregnancy? That's Governor Easley, the governor of Washington, Mr. Irrelevant. That's really what they should do. They should have like Mr. and Mrs. Irrelevant like they do with the NFL draft. Like the last person taken in the NFL draft is called Mr. Irrelevant. So here you have Governor Inslee, so desperate to be relevant, so desperate to be a national player, bragging about his state. And here's the other thing. You know, we hear from the pro-abortion people, oh, hey, it's great, it's fun, it's exciting, it's wonderful, but a man shouldn't tell me what to do. What is Governor Inslee commenting about? He's a man. He should not have a right to say anything about that. Don in Wilder with Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Don, good morning.
Well, good morning, Kevin. My question to you on this seems like small potatoes about what you're really talking about out there. But what I was wondering is this is about the St. Jude Dream Home that they raffled off. And I'm glad that such a wonderful lady won that and everything. But I'm wondering, why did they, after they sold every ticket in 4 days, why did they advertise it for another 2 months about this wonderful thing for the home and the charity money and all that? They sold out in 4 days. Think about what they had tickets for 60 days. What do you think about that?
Well, I think there were people that backed the St. Jude's Dream Home that probably were guaranteed some mentions going inside baseball. Plus, it doesn't hurt to mention the cause of St. Jude's and to raise as much awareness as possible. Common sense, Don, you would be correct. But there are other matters that go into it, people that donated the home, maybe the furniture, that sort of thing. It does seem kind of, you think about it, well, look, they sold it out in 4 days and they're still talking about it. But in the era of, it's not about the home, it's about raising the money for the home. That's my speculation on it, sir.
Well, I believe that sounds perfectly right there. I didn't really think about it in that respect. So, well, that's another way that they done a good thing. And I just wanted to get that out because I was thinking the incredible amount of money they would have had, which that's what it all boils down to is money, if they went long-term on that. But, hey, I know you got more important things to talk about. I'll get out of here, and I thank you very much.
Thank you for listening, Don.
You bet.
All right, Don, listening to KIDO Talk Radio. And look, not everyone is perfect. Last night at God and Country, really want to thank the board, the organizers, the volunteers, people that came out. I love people stopping by the booth or seeing me around. There was a young man in the restroom. No, it wasn't that type of story. He said, I listen to you every morning, Kevin Miller. I said, well, thank you. Or outside the Nampa Fred Meyer yesterday, leaving Team Mazda Subaru. And it is a sense of community, of people making a difference, and making a difference indeed when it comes to making our community better. And it was a privilege to get a chance to be on the same stage with Dee Sarton and Carolyn Holly. These young ladies have been in the market for years. They've recently retired. They're still focusing in on doing good and their families and everything else. But look, before I came here, and some people still say I'm a hater, I think I call it like it is. I was very hard on media, local and national media. But the stuff that Channel 7 does, when we're talking about the St. Jude's Dream Home or 7 Cares Day. You don't see that across the country, and I hope that they continue to do those good efforts. And nobody really it's like your boss, like Jeff the Suit. I appreciate Jeff the Suit stopping by during our God and Country morning show at Team Mazda Subaru, and then last night, and then actually helping us get the fireworks on the air. Nobody ever thanks the boss. And nobody really thanks Channel 7 for doing the St. Jude's Dream Home, along with all their community service that we don't hear about. And, of course, 7 Cares Day, or now they call it Idaho Shares. You don't see that anymore. You don't see that in the Treasure Valley, really, right? You don't see it at all. So big ups to them. Joining us now is a young lady that said, I'm going to call in Kevin Miller, Nampa Mayor Debbie Kling. Mayor Kling, good morning.
Good morning, Kevin. How are you today?
I am dutifully employed still, so I'm grateful for that. And you, ma'am?
And you're wonderfully awesome as usual. I am good. I wanted to say thank you for coming to God and Country, for being a part of that team, and thank you for your voice, for standing up for conservative values and all that you do. It's appreciated.
Well, we appreciate you, and certainly it was a great night last night. What was that like for you to be on stage with the governor?
You know, I think the world of Governor Little and have known him for some time, and he's doing a great job, and I appreciate his values, which are a reflection of the state of Idaho. And I think that's awesome. And as I said last night, I'm so thankful that in Nampa and in most of Idaho, we can stand for conservative values and the foundation of our nation, which is God. It's wonderful. So it was a good evening, and just appreciate what you do and your voice and your talk show. So thank you.
Well, Mayor Kling, thank you, but not to give anybody else a hard time. Unlike other unnamed public officials, you stayed for most of the program last night. I understand you're busy and you had other things to do, but everybody else pretty much bugged out. You were there talking to folks and more importantly, listening to people last night.
You know, it's a wonderful opportunity to just walk around and connect with people and to talk to citizens. I have some to-dos today, like in my office, of things that people said, hey, what about this? What about that? So it's a great opportunity to listen and connect with your citizens. So I love that. You know, it's about being with the people. And when I ran as mayor, my commitment was to listen. And because I think the voice of the people matters, so I do my best to represent them and address the questions and the concerns that they have.
Well, Mayor Kling, we appreciate... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's not always easy, and it doesn't always get done the way they want it, but we do our best to listen and try to resolve it.
Oh, come on. Being mayor is probably one of the easiest jobs you've ever had.
Of course. I love what I do, though. I love what I do.
You know,
and we have an amazing community of people in Nampa. So I'm thankful to have the privilege of serving them as their mayor.
You know, you've put together a very talented team to take Nampa into many more years of success.
You know, we have an amazing team. We've had some changes in our senior leadership, but I am so thankful for our team and the team that we have in place. I put in some people from the private sector because I believe that some of the principles and the thought processes that you have in the business sector need to be applied to municipal government. We need to be thinking from a mindset of business, not just public. We are there to serve, but we've got to be good stewards. And one thing about the private business sector is you've got to look at your bottom line. You've got to look at stewardship. You've got to look at how you use those dollars. And so that's the intent with us in Nampa as we move forward. So I have a great team, and I'm excited about the future. What a great day and age to live in Idaho, for me to live in Nampa and be a part of the growth and the direction we're going.
Mayor Kling, we appreciate it, and we appreciate you listening. It was great to run into you last night.
It was great to see you. Thank you for being there, and thank you for being an important part of our community.
Have a great day, ma'am.
Have a great day. You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There we have it, the mayor of Nampa joining us. Liberty Linda on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Liberty Linda.
Good morning, Kevin. You know, last night's Democratic debate, number one, 70% tax on the wealthy. Number two, free public colleges. 3, decriminalizing crossing the border. Kevin, I think that before the debate, they all stopped by Liberal Steve's house and helped themselves to some of his mushrooms.
That's funny.
Does any of it make any sense to you whatsoever?
Well, they all just seem very, very angry.
I know. My children, when they were like 12 years old, knew better than the things that they are offering us. It doesn't make any sense. The government, who pays for our government? We do. They tax us. It makes no sense. You listen to them and you can think, what world are they from anyway? So I wanted to say good Thor's Day to you. It's not Thursday, it's Thor's Day, Thor. He was named after Thor, if you've ever heard of Thor. Thor was one of my grandfathers, by the way.
Oh, I thought he was the god of thunder.
That's what I feel like some mornings. I take after my grandfather Thor.
I'll take your word on that, young lady.
Yeah, well, he was a Yingling, Ynglingf.
Yeah,
And
they have a beer called that in Pittsburgh, Yingling beer.
Really? Yeah.
Very
Well,
famous.
the Yinglings really existed, and actually England was named after the Yinglings. It was called Yingland before it was called England.
Well, you never know what you're going to learn in the morning with Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Yesterday we learned that Nampa was called the New Jerusalem, and now today Yingling.
Well, we got to have our little bit of trivia on the Kevin Miller Show. We teach the audience as well. We have fun. We also talk about politics, the issues of the day, and then we have, trivia.
Well, thank you. You take care of yourself.
You as well, Kevin. We love you.
We love you, Liberty Linda. We continue on. Let's go to Ann in Boise. Good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio with Kevin Miller. Hello, Ann.
Good morning, Kevin. I had to whittle it down to 2 topics because it's a really great, as usual, a really great program today. And the first, I think, is primarily Mayor Beater and the library, because I access the library downtown in Boise twice a week. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's nice. It's clean. They have all the technology. If they want to upgrade to some degree, sure. But otherwise, it's Mayor Beater standing on grandiose. And the amount of money, and we have so many other issues that we're all being outpriced out of being able to be in Boise. We've been here for almost 25 years from Southern California, refugee. Where else to go? Nowhere really. And the standards, I just cannot believe we have a Democrat mayor in a Republican, based majority at this point. And then the second, simply, and you can help me correlate these together. My car is in the shop with a really great mechanic, independent, so it's going to take a week or more to get parts and stuff. But I took the bus to downtown, it was State and Veterans Parkway area, and I almost get hit by a car. They've expanded. It's like, wow. Okay, we've got all these people coming in. We're expanding the roads that are just they're not accommodating. What am I trying to say? It's pardon the pun, fast and furious. It's like, come on in, and it's ridiculous. We cannot support this massive growth. There has got to be some kind of moratorium. I mean, it's like a kid in a candy shop, or what's that other adage? The pocket with the hole in it, the money. It's like, where is the fiscal responsibility?
Well, Ann, I would agree with you on that, on all your points. I think the issue with Mayor Beater is he's starting to panic because he's got 4 other people running against him. And I'm surprised that someone would attempt to run you over, because the mayor spent $80,000 of the taxpayers from the city of Boise to tell people to be kind. Apparently,
right.
The person that tried to run you over didn't get the Mayor Beater message, be kind.
They were paying attention. They just had this throughway to just, maybe it's a red light, green light, yellow. They're just in such a hurry to go where? I mean, slow down, people. This is not California. This is not, the place to be. I've heard you say, and I completely agree, if you don't understand and agree with what our values are here, then go back. Don't bring it here.
And good luck. Thank you. Please call again.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Rolling on the right side, Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. Sure appreciate everybody coming out to God and Country last night. What a way to kick off the 4th of July season. So last night, you had the big Democratic debate, and it was kind of boring from what I could tell. But the post-debate show on MSNBC, let's share a little of this with you. This is Donnie Deutsch, and maybe Tea Party Bob knows him. He's a big branding money guy. Donnie Deutsch, and Lawrence O'Donnell. Well, Donnie Deutsch just said that 57% of Americans, they're not down with the socialist, and Trump beats anybody. This is how Larry O'Donnell responded.
Respectfully, zero value.
I disagree. You know what? I disagree with that, Lawrence. It's understanding human behavior.
Me in a similar
Don't tell me it has zero
value.
Don't tell me it has zero value. It's understanding human behavior.
It's a guess. It's a wild guess, Donnie.
It's not. It's understanding human behavior, and I guarantee you, 90% of our audience
It's a wild
agrees
guess.
with me.
There's no science in it. There's nothing in it.
There's no science in any of this.
And no one can make it. You can put any name you want in the wild guess that you just made, and it doesn't make it true.
I am understanding what Donald Trump, the way he connects with this country and the strength he exudes. We need to exude a stronger strength. This is the
pure guesswork section of the discussion.
I love this. Aren't they supposed to be reporting on the debate and analyzing things objectively, and yet they're going, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, they may occasionally talk about rooting for somebody, but not the way Donnie Deutsch is invested, not the way Lawrence O'Donnell is invested. It's as if they're running the campaign. KIDO Talk Radio time, 8:27. Traffic and weather together. Let's get you to work safely and on time. Good morning, Robin. And Kevin Miller in the morning. Let's take a little listen more to this.
This is a guy who's done this for 30 years and watched human behavior.
Now then.
Don't you ever question these folks watching human behavior. And, again, you go back to what Donnie Deutsch said, and nobody beats Trump.
Beats him. And I think if we're honest with ourselves and we look hard at ourselves, I think a lot of people agree with me. And I also think when you can label somebody a socialist, 57% of this country thinks that word is un-American. I'm not saying it's...
Now, listen to Donnie snivel and whine and pander, because he's on MSNBC, and he can't say the socialists are bad. Boo, 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 Donnie.
Fair. When he can blanket Elizabeth Warren as a socialist, and he's on stage with her, the Democrats lose. I think she's delightful. I think she's wonderful. I'm a big fan. I just don't think she has what it takes to beat this president the same way, at least an idealized version of Joe Biden is. Don't shoot the messenger. It's just facts. We got to get Trump out.
We got to get Trump out. Donald Trump should have nothing to do with NBC News ever again. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio, 107.5 FM, 580 AM. Good morning, Maggie. Great to be with you, Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. We go to Tea Party Robert of the Gem State Patriot, the gemstatepatriot.com, and everyone's All-American. Good morning, sir. Oh, the pride of New Meadows, Idaho. Good morning, sir. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
I'm not sure I deserve all of that. A little bit flourishing for me. You know, I don't know Donnie Deutsch personally, but I do know he's a big-mouthed blowhard who's only interested in promoting himself, as many of the liberal commentators are. A few words this morning about our good friend Mayor Peter. You have to admit that if Mayor Peter can get away with allocating $80,000 of public tax money for a Be Kind campaign, can you imagine what he will do if he gets another term as mayor of Boise? You know, Boise residents will see their taxes go through the roof with a new library for $85 million and a new baseball stadium for Lord knows how much. You know, politicians like Beater who give the people give the people who run for elected office a bad name. Can you imagine what's going to happen if he has another term? The taxpayers of Boise just don't seem to get it, and they need to get rid of this charlatan in the next election. They deserve every bit of the tax hikes they get if they don't get rid of this man. You know, I will say the same thing for our illustrious Mayor Tammy, who is leaving office. And everybody will remember the Tammy Taj, otherwise known as City Hall. Most people forget the excessive taxpayer money that was spent on this building and the waste of taxpayer money and how she wound up in a legal suit costing the taxpayers millions of dollars. You know, we must not forget that the wonderful urban renewal project that Tammy actually championed on 10 Mile, which did nothing but fill up the place with new apartments, increase the density of population, overcrowd the roads, and increase the cost of housing, not to mention the new schools that are going to be necessary. That's going to hit the taxpayers in the next coming year. And while the Boise Rescue Mission keeps thousands of homeless off the streets without government funds, politicians like Beater continue to flush taxpayer money down the toilet.
Now, let me jump in here. Let me jump in here for a second. This is something that we have learned. That is, you know, the city is welcoming the X Games and everything else, but there is a homeless problem that these nonprofits can't handle, not to any fault of their own. And this is one of the chinks in Mayor Beater's armor. The idea that if you go to someone and you ask anybody working for city government about the homeless situation, they clam up because they know if they comment on it, they're out. So I don't know what they're hiding. I don't know what the deal is. I guess I have to go to a ribbon cutting to comment with the mayor. But, you know, we're going to find out if people are fed up with him.
You know, Kevin, I live down in the city in Meridian. I've been to Boise many, many times. And I'll tell you, there's another time I've gone down there that I haven't found homeless people sitting on the streets. And they don't have any place to go. You know, he and his cronies have done nothing to ease the situation, and he should be admonished for his inattention to this problem. Liberals keep talking about how they are the gladiators and the hope, the poor, and the helpless, but it sure doesn't show in the actions that we see in the everyday by the number of homeless that roam the streets of Boise. You know, when I look at the difference between Mayor Kling of Nampa and Mayors Beater and Tammy, there's a huge contrast. You know, Mayor Kling is someone who actually knows how to wisely spend tax money, unlike Beater and DeWeert, who know how to squander it. Now, if you had more mayors like Kling, Idaho would be a much better place to live in. And when it comes to the urban areas, you know, that are continuing to grow, you need people who understand business and economics. And evidently, Kling has a good handle on that. The problem is most politicians have little or no experience in business or economics. So I'm just kind of hoping that maybe some of the Kling magic may rub off on Beater, although I seriously doubt it. This man has absolutely no common sense. He's just a free-spending liberal that we really don't need in Idaho. That's about all I have to say, my friend. Beautiful weather up here today. And congratulations on a great show last night. I understand it was fantastic.
We're still trying to recover from it. And we had the post-game show as well. And for, what Tea Party Bob is referring to is not only did we do the fireworks, but then we had Kevin Harper on, Joe and Tammy Bell on. We had Pat from Middleton on. He only makes celebrity appearances, so.
Well, if you see Pat, say hello for me, will you?
You just did. Thank you, Tea Party Bob.
Thank you, my friend. Have a great day.
All right. 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Kevin Miller in the morning here. The president reviewing last night's debate on MSNBC. But before we get to that, let's listen to the unusual pattern of questioning that we heard from the folks on MSNBC. It seemed like they were talking more than the candidates. Here's the lovely and talented Rachel Maddow.
Secretary Castro, I'd like to talk to you about something that Senator Booker just mentioned there, the idea of active shooter drills in schools. As school shootings seem like an almost every day or every week occurrence now, they don't make a complete news cycle anymore, no matter the death toll. As parents are so afraid as their kids go off to school that their kids will be caught up in something like this, next to nothing has changed in federal law that might affect the prevalence of school shootings. Is this a problem that is going to continue to get worse over our lifetimes, or is there something that you would do as president that you really think would turn it around?
And there we have it. Poor Castro. He didn't get a chance to really get into it because he only had 60 seconds, and Rachel Maddow took up about 20 of them. Boy. We'll continue to cover not only the debate that happened, but the debate that'll happen tonight with Bernie and the gang of usual suspects. Now, many of you at 580-5436, 580-KIDO are saying, Kevin Miller, you've been distracted a little about the topics. Yes, we have the Be Kind campaign. We have somebody spitting on Eric Trump. We have this cultural issue involving Megan Rapinoe of the U.S. soccer team. Do I know who she is? No, but she's said some nasty things, and we're going to get to her. But one of the issues that we've become known for, and perhaps known to be polarizing about, is this issue involving the marijuana wars coming to the gem state, right? Where you have people that are openly advocating for medical and recreational marijuana. In fact, some people are saying, Kevin Miller, I was disappointed that you didn't say that Illinois became the 11th state to legalize recreational weed. Shame on you, Kevin Miller. Or you didn't mention the big medical marijuana initiative. Well, we did. It's on our website, KIDOTalkRadio.com. But this just in, backers of a proposed medical marijuana initiative filed a new version with the state yesterday, or actually a couple days ago, after their earlier one drew a withering rebuke. Well, the latest one fell short of 20 valid signatures, so they'll have to restart the process. Seems to me people in this state are not interested in the legalized weed. What say you? We go to Bill in Boise with Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Bill.
Yeah, good morning, Kevin. I didn't think I'd get through so soon.
We aim to please, sir.
You're talking about Mayor Bader and all the rest of them, and the first thought that comes to mind, it used to be government by the people, for the people, and of the people, but it's quite apparent that the new government is by the bureaucracy, for the bureaucracy, and of the bureaucracy. The only way to stop these guys is to put in the 1% tax initiative that passed years ago, but it was overridden by the legislators. That'll stop the bureaucracy from slurping in the bottomless trough. We need to get the 1% tax increase like California has passed. And my hope would be that you would be maybe the leader to get that started. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'd be more than happy to bear that responsibility and to lobby our legislators and our city officials to make that happen. Anything to help the Idaho taxpayers.
Well, we want to start by getting the number of signatures and going through the procedures to get this on the ballot.
Well, and unlike the dope smokers, we'll get the real signatures.
That's right. So if you could continue to kind of spearhead it in discussion and let it be a topic along with, the rest of the stuff that's going on with this Democrats and liberals. Let's talk about the 1% initiative. If you could do that and keep it in the forefront, we're putting together a group that's going to get started getting signatures.
Well, Bill, consider me your wingman. I appreciate it, and we'll make it happen, brother.
Okay, you're on, and I'll keep you posted on our progress. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you. You have a great day. Wouldn't be the Kevin Miller Show without an appearance by Old Pro Life. Good morning, sir. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm old and getting older. But anyway, what would you say if the petition for marijuana said we want medical marijuana and we want to keep recreational marijuana illegal, big-time illegal, like bigger penalties? I could sign a petition like that. And
well, you've had a lot of petitions signed. Now, what I would say is the great thing about this program is it's a training program for people running for office. Now, we can't confirm nor deny how many folks from Oregon are here in the broadcast center. We can't confirm nor deny who may or may not run for office, but I will answer your question simply by stating I don't deal in hypotheticals, sir. Next question, please.
All right. Well, now the next thing is a comment. I looked all over the television, but I just have Rapid Ears television. I don't have, and I tried to get the Democratic debates. None of the major networks wanted to put it on there because it's a big joke, and everybody knows it's a big joke.
No, I think NBC actually had it on, so that would be Channel 7.
Well, I didn't see it on there.
Well, you didn't tune in at the right time, but it was on Channel 7 last time.
You're probably right. I was probably too late. Anyway.
Well, too late. It started at 7 o'clock our time.
Well, I should have seen it then. I don't know. But
well,
anyway.
I don't think you're a very informed young man here.
Well, the national media is a socialist media. It's a crooked communist media. It's no good. Nobody should patronize businesses that advertise on national media. But everybody's doing it. It's ridiculous. I went to my bank yesterday and complained to them that they put ads for the gay pride, and they said, well, all the banks are doing that. I said, no, not all the banks are doing that.
Well, everybody's going gay, but look, I find remarkable deals on my older men diapers on the network shows. So,
yeah, well, you probably do, but anyway.
Now, that was just to make you laugh, Pro-Life. Lighten up a little, right? Anyway, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. KIDO Talk Radio, Kevin Miller in the morning. We're joined by a young man named Jeff the Suit who joins us, who apparently is obsessed with the quality control of this program because this is, your third or fourth day in a row appearing on the Kevin Miller program?
That's either me obsessed or it's you not delivering. You could look at it one of two ways.
Well, and this is why you are here, and you are my supervisor, specified by name in my employment contract.
Yes.
Actually,
I think you're one of two deals that's ever had that. So either I need to have my thumb on you or something. But
Well, the broadcast executives know a rising star when they see one.
In me, you're right. Yes, that's good. Yes. I have a lot of fans.
Well, we were talking a little bit about you earlier this morning.
Oh, were you? I missed that.
We were.
This is either frightening or awesome.
Well, we were talking about no one thanks the media for doing a good job. I was talking about Channel 7 with St. Jude's.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Idaho Shares, 7 Cares, whatever they call it.
Yep.
And they do a lot of community service. I said no one ever thanks them, and I said it's kind of like no one thanks your boss. and I said no one thanks Jeff the Suit for being there with us at T Mazda Subaru in the morning, and then coming out to God and Country, and then quarterbacking our coverage on the air emanating from the broadcast center. So thank you.
Well, I don't want to out you and ruin your character that you've crafted so carefully, but actually, case in point, you do thank me. You're actually really good about that. So it's funny. We have our little tension on the air, and only 75% of it's real. But
fake news.
People are funny. 100. People are funny about thinking that you and I are always gunning at each other. If anything, that's the way we communicate, and it's the way we show love and respect. But you actually are really good about that, and I give you a lot of credit. I've told other people, I forget sometimes to thank people for what they do. You're always the first to say thank you, so that actually is a skill set that you own.
Well, it's best to have one skill set.
Well, that one you've mastered. This whole show thing is really lacking, but the thank yous are killer.
Thank yous or pandering, take your
Well,
pick.
it depends. The thing about pandering is I don't think you can get much out of me, so this turnip's pretty dry, so you can pander all you want.
I've always picked the wrong horse.
Right, you did. It's the wrong lane at the grocery store, right? This is Albertsons in the slow lane. You hitched up here.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
I've got the person with the checkbook and 71 coupons in front of you.
Oh, my gosh. We could go on and on about that, but let's talk a little bit about the 4th of July season, God and Country.
Yeah.
You were there last night. You were there last year. You've been there for several years.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
That is one of those events that I think if you are not in the Treasure Valley and you describe it to somebody, they'd go, oh, that's nice. It's probably a small thing. Some people come out. I don't know that people understand what an activated and engaged group of people that our KIDO Talk Radio family is, and that, you get to see that at God and Country. You see people who are proud of their faith and want to make the world a better place around them and want to come together to truly be grateful and have a good night together. And as I was watching people come up to our tent and say hi to us, and we've got Idaho Central by us, our friends at Team are right next to us with the Team Mazda Subaru, people out there too, that we come together for all these amazing events throughout the year with you. And you get to come up and say, Kevin Miller, I listen to you in the morning. And I even like the gentleman who begrudgingly said, I wake up to you every day.
Well, his wife did, but he was...
Right, but he kind of was pulled along. Right. And you could tell that he was so enthused by that. But honestly, man...
Like your enthusiasm sometimes for this program.
Equal, if not more. We live in a special place, and I think you lose sight of that sometimes just by living day-to-day life, right? But we live in a generous and engaged and caring community, and that event last night, to me, is another one of those things where, Dee Sarton just retired from 7, but she's still on stage, and she's still engaged, and she's still going to be a part of it. Carolyn's been retired for, 2 or 3 years, and they still do it. And the three of you have become the normal MCs who just kind of remind us of our community, and because of all of the good that the KIDO Talk Radio family does, that through our partnerships with the 7 family do. You just remember all these things that throughout the year we're engaged together and making a bigger difference. And truly, it's fun to go, God really sets out this standard and the roadmap of Jesus to love those who can do less and have less. And even that event last night, that's what it reminds me of. It's that we get together for Miller's Missions. We, do Christmas Wish with our sister station that's engaged with a lot of the same people, including Team Mazda Subaru. And you look at all these things and go, man, we live in a special place. These are good people.
We do. And of course, the volunteers, the board members, people that dedicate their lives. And then you have the great nonprofits like the Boise Rescue Mission.
Yeah.
You had churches there last night.
Yeah, you know what, and we give Rev a hard time too, but that guy works a busy schedule. The Boise Rescue Mission team is a lean machine, and they do a ton of good in our community. And if you don't even know, the Boise Rescue Mission isn't just one facility; it's a bunch of stuff all throughout the valley, right? So they're hopping around, making sure that people are cared for. They're at the moment of desperation, giving people hope. And so even to see them out and people getting excited about how important BRM is in our community. It's just good stuff, man. It feels good to look around and go, this is the team that I'm a part of.
Well, I was disappointed that you didn't wear your suit,
Well, it was a warm day, Kev, and, when I shed the suit once I leave the office, what I love is that you've made that such a standard term for me that people expect it now, and they're disappointed. Like, again, peeling back the curtain, I wear a suit 3 times a year. But you've made it an expectation now.
Fake news.
People are always like, boy, you're underdressed today. And it's like, you don't know. This is my formal T-shirt. What are you talking about? This one doesn't have holes in it.
I can relate to that. Traffic and weather together.
Yeah.
KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Robin. And this just in, the Supreme Court sends the census citizenship question back to lower court, giving challengers another chance to block it. More coming up with Fox News at the top of the hour.
So, question for you. I know we have a new grandbaby in the family there. Mm-hmm. Grandpa Kevin, how's everybody doing?
Little Charlie, LC. LC's doing fine.
Good.
Big sister, Finley Marie. So that is wild, just watching children grow up before your eyes. Having never been a parent, kind of skipping that vibe, it is, and I'm sure every parent can relate to this, just very humbling to see.
Well, if you have kids in your life at all, I think you know how much you care, and that, with you, what I've seen too, and I love it, it's one of my favorite things. You might not have had your own kids, but dude, you were built to be the grandpa for these beautiful girls, and the joy that it brings you is amazing. But when you have kids in your life and you get to somehow be a part of even shaping them, I think that's part of why God and Country and these things are important to you too. You're laying out, these important things that you invest your time in to make both of these little girls' lives better here in the Treasure Valley and to, show them what's important, right?
I always like the kick in the shins, personally.
That too. That's fun as well. Or the burp that goes a little awry or any of those things. Yeah, anyone with kids in their lives is going,
That would be more like my burps that go awry.
No,
yes.
They were burping you. I was clear on that. I was just saying, good times.
Fox News is next. God bless.